Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. Was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was.
WNBA viewership is in free fall following Caitlin Clark's controversial playoff exit. The semifinal ratings have plummeted, confirming that a significant portion of the audience was solely tuning in for her. Her elimination, marred by what many saw as biased and questionable foul calls against the Indiana Fever, cut her historic rookie season short. The league has been unable to recover the audience's interest without its brightest star.
Want me to just say I told you so, or are you willing to say, Stephen A., you did tell us? Really? Caitlin Clark is the golden.
The WNBA failed to protect its most valuable asset all season. Caitlin Clark endured constant, physical play with inconsistent officiating, and the league's failure culminated in her playoff defeat, where even a home game was denied. Fans have responded by turning off their TVs. This is now the only major sport where interest decreases deeper into the playoffs, proving the league let its postseason die.
A team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games.
After the season's frustrations, who could blame Caitlin Clark for considering Europe? There, she could earn nearly 10 times her WNBA salary and receive the respect she deserved. The league already failed her by denying her a unanimous Rookie of the Year award due to one controversial vote for Angel Reese. The league's silence and protection of that voter's identity felt like a deliberate slight to her legions of new fans.
And unanimous.
Should have been.
I agree. It should have been unanimous. And one of the things that sticks with me is, well, she was the first rookie to get it.
The Caitlin Clark effect is now undeniable, and its absence is devastating. Ratings are collapsing by the minute without her. The simple truth is that fans were drawn to Clark. Without her, they see no reason to watch. Even MVP Aya Wilson felt the weight of this, facing criticism from fans who found the product without Clark to be boring.
More the year that I've seen anyone call my game boring than it's ever been. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Aya Wilson's MVP season, while respected, generated nowhere near the cultural buzz of Caitlin Clark's rookie year. Clark's unique impact transformed casual viewers into die-hard fans and made regular season games must-watch event. The sharp decline in interest since her exit proves her star power was utterly unmatched.
Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when Asia was releasing a shoe were we talking about?
Clark's absence exposes an uncomfortable truth. The WNBA's recent audience surge was built almost entirely on her shoulders. She was a lightning rod for attention, pulling focus to the entire league. The immediate, staggering drop in viewership after Indiana's loss to Connecticut reveals how dangerously dependent the league had become on a single star. Viewership for the playoffs dropped by more than half after Clark was eliminated. This is no coincidence. It's a glaring sign that her presence alone was driving the league's growth. The post-Clark product has been exposed. Fans weren't tuning in for the WNBA, they were tuning in for Caitlin. Without her, the cracks in the foundation are impossible to ignore.
2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is, if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did.
This should be a wake-up call. Clark's rookie year felt like a historic turning point, breaking records and creating unprecedented momentum. The moment she was gone, that buzz evaporated. The remaining teams, while competitive, lacked the transcendent star power and charisma Clark brought every night. The fans she attracted had no reason to stay.
Since, Angel Reese had that injury to me, and also coming off of Olympic break, Caitlin Clark separated herself. Yeah. She should have been unanimous. Now to celebrate her, one thing that people forget
is as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8.
The manner of Clark's exit made it worse. She was beaten down all season by overly physical play that referees consistently refused to call. For the league's biggest draw and most talented rookie, the lack of on-court protection was unacceptable. The league's public praise for her talent rang hollow when it failed to safeguard her on the court.
Jordan effect on the NBA and the game of basketball. I would argue at one point early on there was a Steph Curry effect on the NBA and on basketball also. You bet your ass there is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball.
Playoff series against Connecticut was a clear example of the problem. Clark was fouled hard repeatedly with few whistles. Fans watched in frustration as she was knocked down with no calls. This wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern of inconsistent officiating. Letting your biggest star be mauled is not just unfair, it's terrible business.
I don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world. Something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or...
Clark's rookie year was the WNBA's best chance to break into the mainstream. She brought in millions of new fans and made games cultural event. But by failing to protect her from constant, uncalled fouls, the league squandered that opportunity. The perception is now clear to everyone. The WNBA let Caitlin Clark down.
Has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Mm-hmm. Caitlin didn't bring citizens to the WNBA. This has been happening, and that I think is what's been such a shock.
This has created a dangerous new sentiment that the WNBA does not care about protecting its stars. If fans believe that, their loyalty will vanish. Clark has done more for the league in one season than many veterans have in entire careers. If the league refuses to act, it risks losing not only her but also the future players who would follow in her footsteps.
Very, very few people, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was.
Adding insult to injury, Clark was denied a unanimous Rookie of the Year award. Despite a record-shattering season that drove the league's growth, one voter chose Angel Reese, preventing a clean sweep. This sparked outrage, with fans seeing it as another deliberate slight against the player who carried the league on her back.
Viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18.
The backlash was swift. Fans demanded to know who voted against Clark and why. She had elevated the league's profile single-handedly, yet was denied unanimous recognition. The league's decision to keep the voter anonymous, lacking transparency, only fueled more anger, making it seem like they were intentionally diminishing her accomplishments. V15.
If you are rooting against Caitlin Clark because you like another team, there's very few of them.
I'm excited
even if it's that.
I'm excited to see.
The Rookie of the Year snub created a lasting perception problem. It signaled to many that the league doesn't fully appreciate what Clark has done. If the WNBA wants to build loyalty, it must show that monumental achievements are respected and celebrated. Right now, fans are questioning the integrity of the league itself. V16. For Clark, the snub may only add fuel to her fire, motivating her to return stronger. But for the league, this controversy has created a deep credibility issue that won't fade quietly. Fans will not forget and will continually question if Clark is being given the respect she has clearly earned.
Second half really set the tone for me, for her to be, and should have been, the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
And it wasn't just one triple-double. She had 2 on the season.
And this is why we would love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know
Now, with Clark taking an extended break from professional basketball, the WNBA faces its toughest challenge: maintaining fan interest without its biggest star. With ratings already in a nosedive, the task is daunting. The league will sit idle for months, trying to hold onto a momentum that is already gone.
Best player in the country.
To the media or me?
As you see it.
I feel like I'm the best player.
If the WNBA wants to keep Clark long-term, it must act now. The physical punishment she endured is unsustainable. If officiating isn't fixed, she could easily go to Europe, where offers include far better pay and protection. Her departure would be a devastating blow from which the league might not recover.
Question is, who did it? Speak loud and clear, raise your hand, all that good stuff.
To prevent that nightmare, the league must prioritize Clark's safety. This means holding referees accountable and ensuring consistent foul calling. Clark brought the WNBA relevance it hasn't had in decades. Her absence has revealed the league's biggest vulnerability: an over-reliance on one player. If she isn't protected, the entire foundation risks collapse.
I was really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything.
The next few months are critical. The WNBA must learn from this season. Clark's absence shows how fragile its popularity is. The path forward is clear. Protect your stars, build a deeper base of marketable talent, and give fans a reason to care even when Clark isn't on the court. Because if the league fails her, the millions of fans she brought will leave with her.